let's just get right to the point, and then I'll share my thoughts on what I'd like to see, because oh boy am I excited. In the last video, we discussed how LEGO Ideas works, and used LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog as an example. Fans submit their creations as projects for other fans to vote on, and after 10,000 votes are submitted, LEGO reviews if it can become an official product. I spoke how LEGO has a list of third-party IPs that they are willing to collaborate with, and for the longest time, that has included some of Nintendo's most popular franchises, such as The Legend of Zelda and Splatoon. We've seen countless The Legend of Zelda projects reach the 10K milestone to get put under review, and yet none of them have ever passed into full production. However, within the past month of this video's release, things have changed. Initially being welcome on the platform, the IP's evaluation status has been changed from allowed to license conflict. This has happened to both The Legend of Zelda and Splatoon. It's also rather unfortunate because that status could mean quite a few things. Straightforward, to the point, and what I certainly hope is not the truth after just how loud and vocal we've been about The Legend of Zelda, would be that Nintendo has licensed off both it and Splatoon to another building toy brand. I would say this is extremely strange just because of how lucrative it is that both of these brands have been working together, but the increasingly poor sales of a LEGO Super Mario theme may have encouraged Nintendo to go elsewhere. I'd hate if this is the case, cause it's LEGO's own fault that the sets are designed as the course builder, app-enabled game that it is. Nintendo has always just wanted a line with minifigures. If this poor decision on LEGO's part ruined everything, I will be so painfully disappointed. However, as I said, this isn't a yes or no kind of situation. You see, when LEGO decides to work with an IP partner without having gone through the LEGO Ideas process, the Ideas site will update the IP list to say so. In the case of LEGO sets like Sonic the Hedgehog and the newly released The Office set, looking up either IP on the search system states they aren't allowed due to Ideas overlap. Makes sense. LEGO Ideas sets already happen for them, so there's no reason for there to be more. Now say if you were to look up Star Wars or Batman, it will come up with current third-party overlap, which speaks for itself. LEGO already has a license and has been working with both IPs for over a decade now. Whether they could use a little bit of fan input through such a method anyways is neither here nor there. I wouldn't be bringing this up if there weren't some caveats to this. Both Horizon Zero Dawn and Transformers are not allowed due to licensing conflicts as well, just like Zelda and Splatoon. Why is this notable? Well, LEGO produced sets under both IPs within the past year. Optimus Prime launched to mixed reviews on its functionality, but all praise for its effort in capturing the character. Now, Optimus Prime has not even been considered for that IP search on LEGO Ideas, but Transformers still comes up with the result that it does, despite the fact there is a third-party overlap. The Tall Neck from the Horizon franchise has got stellar reviews, as it's a strange yet beautiful display piece. This design comes from a video game franchise that has two installments, Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West. As you can see on the packaging, this set specifically mentions the sequel, as the set launched just shortly after the game launched. You can't look up Horizon Forbidden West and get results on LEGO Ideas of whether you can submit an idea under its name, but you can look up Horizon Zero Dawn, and it comes up with the same results those games and Transformers got. Licensing conflict. Again, this despite LEGO already working with the IP, spurring the need for results that show that it's merely a third-party overlap. You should keep in mind, however, that both Horizon Zero Dawn and Transformers were allowed for quite some time before that on the LEGO Ideas platform, just like Splatoon and Zelda. Their statuses changed shortly before they saw their sets release. This could mean the same for Zelda and Splatoon, but unfortunately at this point, whether that's the case remains to be seen. It should be said, IPs that have never been allowed say inappropriate as the result, as expected for video game IPs such as Doom and Bayonetta, so we know that it's not because of that in this case. As you can see, LEGO Ideas isn't exactly perfect. All the time, so many non-licensed projects get submitted and reach 10K, many of which are designed or themed in such a way that they overlap with products LEGO already releases. For example, they're modular buildings. These townhouses split into sections for easy access and are a yearly staple among LEGO's releases. All interconnect as well, allowing you to build beautiful streets. So many projects that reach the goal for review on LEGO Ideas meet the criteria of a large, detailed town building like the modular buildings. Because of this, none of them are ever approved. The same exact issue occurs when a plant of some kind reaches 10K as well. During the review period results, they're often skipped over, again, because LEGO already does decorative plants. What some might not know is that if you reach 10K, LEGO awards you with a $500 gift card, which in a situation where you consistently repost your idea just to reach 10K over and over again, you can easily abuse this system. An easy solution would just be archiving these projects that don't pass and never allowing them to be submitted by the user ever again. again, so it cannot be abused. Archiving was something they did when they discovered some of their employees had sets that reached 10K and they could not produce due to conflict of interest, so it's not something out of the question. However, they also have situations like The Legend of Zelda, where nearly every single project that gets posted on the platform with visual appeal reaches 10K as well. You're handing out gift cards constantly for the same concept over and over again, but this time to different people. Since so many people are involved and LEGO can't just archive one and blanket it to everyone, why not just remove the ability to submit such projects, right? It's the easiest way to avoid shelling out that money in every instance this occurs, not that they can't afford it of course. However, this goes completely against LEGO's strong stance for creativity. So if this were the case, it would be quite controversial. And now you know why I assume the other situations are more likely, and hope is worth your time. Simply blocking the IP just because they don't want to see it anymore goes completely against all morals and standards they have. Would be such a shame if they did too. Splatoon would have some fantastic contemporary sets and prints that would work magnificently in other creations, and having cool functions that would reveal areas that are inked up would be very easy to implement as well. The whole line can be easily accessible too, as you could just release small starter sets with one minifig, some customization options, and a couple of squirt gun-like weapons they carry. There's so much variety in that latter concept that most of these sets could just be those, and you can pair them with larger sets you can play with them in. Could even incorporate a game that uses those sets, where you can play a certain way and the area you choose gets inked, and that being how you play the game with the LEGO set. No digital figure or app involved. Now, for The Legend of Zelda, there is far too few IPs out there where this concept is so perfectly ready for LEGO to adopt that it makes you wonder why they haven't already tried. You see, Zelda is an action-adventure game with fun puzzles, deep exploration, and awesome battles with fantastical creatures. Something akin to, say, Ninjago or Nexo Knights. Two LEGO-owned action themes which master doing the exact same thing, with a lot of vehicles at play. In Zelda's case, it would mostly be done with locations, but that has done LEGO Minecraft wonders for years and years of play. What's also pretty amazing too is that, with how varied locations are in size in the Legend of Zelda games, no matter how big the set is, no matter which creatures and characters are included, most if not all would work as great display pieces for older builders without even a second thought. Something that, of the previous themes I mentioned, only Minecraft comes close to doing. Plus, both of them are ready for Adults Welcome sets too, just gonna add that there in case LEGO is listening and that sweetens the deal. Not getting the Legend of Zelda sets after all this encouragement would make me question where LEGO's direction is headed, as it's simply too lucrative an opportunity for them to miss out on. Sure, it does have some subject matter that LEGO Ideas does not allow on their platform, however, that hasn't stopped LEGO from constantly breaking those rules for their own gain, all because they're making the decision without any fan involvement. So nothing's stopping them, neither for The Legend of Zelda nor Splatoon. Honestly, I can think of too few video games you can get an entire LEGO theme out of. Those two are at the top of that list. Maybe aside from Animal Crossing, but you know. Aside from LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog sets you can actually play with, and LEGO Super Mario sets that have minifigs like we've been wanting from the start, but you know, it's all hopeful wishful thinking, and I'm happy that, despite this news, we are still at a spot where we can have that hope. Not all is lost. Before we close, I should mention, Nintendo is a joint investor in Pokemon, which is currently working with Mega to make building toys. It needs to be said that how Pokemon licenses their IP is up to them, not Nintendo, so their influence on ol' Ninty here would be negligible in this situation. Now tell me, if LEGO is really about to start making The Legend of Zelda or Splatoon sets, which of your favorite things from those games would you like to see LEGO make? Let me know in the comments below, and while you're there, you can like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell. If you feel so inclined, hitting the thanks button next to the like and share buttons allows you to donate money to support the channel. It will have you submit an ordinary comment as well, but unlike normal comments, yours will be highlighted for everyone to see. I have been wanting Zelda sets for so long. If we get anything, I'm going to be ecstatic. I don't want to get too excited though, because we just don't know where the situation could go.